It's noon, Sunday, October 29th, the day before the storm. This will be a short video documenting the events as they unfold over the course of the next 48 hours. I'm stopping in at one of the local stores here to get some last-minute supplies. You can see the parking lot is full. People getting their last-minute supplies. The bread counter is empty. We're starting to feel some wind right now, even though the hurricane is several hundred miles away. Our concern in this area is the water table, the storm surge, whether or not there'll be flooding. We also have concern over these power lines. As you can see, a lot of branches from the local pond extend over these power lines, and the question is, will the winds be strong enough to knock some of these trees down, knocking out the electricity? That's a very big concern. Right now I'm going to leave this area. We're about 1.5 miles from the bay. I'm going to take a little bike ride over there just to see what's happening on that side. There is an extensive canal system that runs through the area. This is a very beautiful area. Hopefully it's not going to be as bad as they're forecasting. Looks like most of the boats are secured. We'll see. Right now it's fairly calm here at the local beach. I've noticed a number of homes have put sandbags up against their garages and other areas. This is the bay. You can hear the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. It's 1 o'clock Sunday. When the surge comes, this is the direction that it's going to be coming from. Off in the distance is Jones Beach. That barrier island is what separates the bay from the Atlantic Ocean. I have a few fearless boaters heading out into this. I'm really not quite sure why. It's not really a great day to go boating. Boat that I've seen today. Moving pretty quickly. There's a monster out there, and they say it's heading straight for us. Let's hope they're wrong. It's Monday the 29th of October, 10 a.m. As you can see, the rains came last night. This particular area seems to be flooded out. I think it's due to the high tide. I think this should recede once the tides start to go out. The weather reports say we're only going to have 2 to 4 inches of rain today. So that should be good. Hopefully this stuff will recede. But we have to watch out for the surge that happens tonight after 8 p.m. There's another high tide then. As I head over to see if I can get some additional supplies, I just walked into another major flooded area. This is a pond over by us, and the whole area is absolutely flooded out. I'm looking up towards Merrick Road right now, and the police have cordoned this area off. You can see it's totally flooded. This is absolutely unbelievable. I've never seen this before. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and the worst of the storm is not supposed to hit for another 9 hours. The ducks don't seem to mind. This is incredible. This is not the pond. The pond is in the background. The pond is totally overflowing. It's caused by the canal. They're overflowing. It's high tide. We've closed this part of Merrick Road down. I'm walking on Merrick Road. The cops have cordoned off this area. As the tide has gone out, the floodwater from this morning has receded. We have a driving rain right now, and the wind is clearly picking up in tempo. Whoa. So much for the 2 to 4 inches of rain. This is really coming down. It's a biting rain. The intensity of the storm is really starting to pick up now. This area is kind of dangerous. I have to get out of here. I don't want to get hit by a limb and something gets knocked off. You just can't hear the wind. This limb came down, and there are wires down. I got to get moving. It's starting to get a little too dangerous right now. The wind's really picking up, and so is the rain. It's 5:30 at night. There seems to be a lull, but we're having our power interrupted. The worst thing about this is it's going to be dark soon and you really can't see what's happening. The most terrifying thing is just the sounds that you hear in the dark. It's clearly picking up now. Eight o'clock is when the surge hits, and 8 o'clock is when the winds are supposed to really hit their maximum. The water continues to move up the road. This does not look good for later on. The surge is not even supposed to happen for another 2 hours. Can't get through. Too much water. I've had to build a berm to protect the house. I don't know how long that's going to hold. The hurricane is at its peak right now. Everything is flooded out. You can see the light over there. You can see the light reflecting off of the water. You can hear the wind. Pretty intense. Never seen this before. The storm turned out to be much worse than expected. We've got about 3 feet of water outside the house. Every house in this vicinity is flooded out. We got about 2 feet of water inside the house. It's a disaster. Nothing else can be said. We have to wait for this surge now to dissipate. So hopefully in the next couple of hours. After assessing the damages to the house, we walked through the neighborhood to see what other damage occurred. We were shocked. Hard to believe that a catastrophic storm moved through. When the storm ended, we were cut off from the outside for 3 days. No TV, no cell phones, no landlines, no internet, no gasoline, etc. The only news that we received was through the grapevine, from family and friends that came over to help in the cleanup. As bad as it was for us, the people living south of us fared far worse. Many homes were severely damaged and destroyed. Cars were totaled. Boats were swept out of the canals. They moved inland, crashing into houses and into cars. The beachfront property was all torn up. Some neighborhoods needed police and National Guard units to patrol them in order to protect them from looters. We were one of the lucky ones. Even though we had no communications for several days, one of my brothers had spotty cell phone communications and was able to reach another brother in Texas. He and his wife then contacted FEMA and filled out all the necessary documentation. We were very fortunate. Several days after the catastrophe, a FEMA representative showed up at the house. Through contributions made by family members and FEMA, construction is well on its way. So we're in a pretty good place, although a lot of people are not as lucky, and I feel very badly for them. Down here by the bay, the people really got hurt. This is an area where the surge actually broke down one of the fences. If you look, this fence directly in front of me is well over 6 feet high,
and the debris is all the way up to the top. So at least 6 feet of water came through this area right here. This poor house over here really got it bad. This boat is partially lying in the street. It's 6 weeks. This house got burnt down. It's going to take these people a long time to recover.